Journal entry, 18th of the month of June, in the year of our Lord, 1136. I must move forward, even as I cannot see the road ahead. No parent should survive their child, yet alas, the demonic plague has taken my son Guichard from me, and Juliana, my youngest, still coughs blood every night. Only a miracle can save her now. Petronella has become irritable and has been prone to unleash her anger at those around her. With the future of my line in question, a political marriage has been proposed. Eleanor, a noblewoman of good character and standing, has agreed to become my wife, thus providing protection for the city of Olivet in the county of Orléans, in these insecure times where the kingdom of France is fraying under the rule of the coward Benoit. We have been dragged into war yet again at the behest of the old Kaiser of the Holy Roman Empire, but word from his court is that his days are numbered. Prince Gerold, Peronella's betrothed, while a handsome young man, has shown some concerning preferences for inflicting pain unto others, and the Kaiser's eldest, Prince Ottokar, they say is a man of wrath. Petronella has voiced her discontent with the betrothal, and I am of her mind, the situation is bad enough as it is. I shall instruct my scribes to prepare a legal way for us to renounce this alliance, as Toulouse is where my focus must be. These are handsome but evil men who are to follow in the footsteps of the old Kaiser, who was an honorable man, but his sons, alas, not so much. So we will have to look into that. Meanwhile, we have welcomed Duchess Eleanor of Toulouse, and we have held a banquet in her favor. And unfortunately, Juliana is still inflicted with the consumption, and she's not the only one. My knight Thwadimir is the husband of Philomena, my current antiquarian and physician, is unfortunately ill as well, and she is already old and frail. So this keeps going around as it is, unfortunately. So that said, while the plague is still ravaging the Holy Roman Empire itself, we have a duchy to manage, and now that we finally have our stress under control, I think we'll have to find a way to break the betrothal. This is going to obviously going to not be popular. So everybody in my family would be very upset about this, and would look at me with anger in their eyes. Now the question would be, do we do this, or do we let Petronella, potentially my only child, into the heart of darkness that is starting to become the Holy Roman Empire? So that is a question that shall be answered. But for now, we are still technically at war, and we are dealing with the situation. We're dealing with the situation in the south here, where potential reinforcements are coming in. But other than that, we're slowly trying to build up Montauban. And we should actually now also be able to improve Toulouse as well. So we need to actually upgrade to a keep. So we will need to upgrade the castle to a keep, which we can now do because we have the battlements. But it is costing 550 coin, so a rather vast amount of money. So that's something that we'll need to see when we will be able to afford it. But for now, the other situation obviously is the control that is relatively low in the county, and the expenses for our men-at-arms. But we are getting slowly. We're getting some we're getting some tax income from the vassals as well. My new wife, Duchess Eleanor of Toulouse, is a very capable woman when it comes to financial. So we're going to get her to manage domain, which is going to significantly increase the amount of income that we're getting. And that is good as well. Once more, enemy troops have landed at Montpellier, but the army has been raised and we are just waiting for them. And that generally ends in a slaughter where not many survive. And our knights didn't even get to join the fight because the enemy armies were effectively slain by the time that we managed to get there. So that will disband once again, disband the troops and just keep an eye on things if they show up again. Gausbert the Lion, a blade master and a brilliant strategist, together with his wife, has joined my court and my knights because the older guard is definitely getting on there in age as well, and it's always good to have some refreshment there. Though he's not the youngest, he can assist us in this conflict, where it looks like the troops of the Holy Roman Empire are struggling to maintain their superiority, despite the fact that they are vastly outnumbering the defenders. The French troops are often coming in situations where the Holy Roman troops, the Franconian troops, are unprepared. But then again, they fail at attempts of actually engaging in decisive battles. There are some sieges in the north, but this shall not concern us at this point. The war is finally over. The Holy Roman Empire has reigned victorious, and Benoit the Craven of France had to admit defeat. So with that, the situation on the ground has changed, and already the Kaiser is calling us into another war. However, in the meantime, we have received a missive from Pope Sergius the Bearded that Prince Gerold has been found guilty of misdeeds against the church and must be excommunicated. As such, with him being excommunicated, I think it is about high time that we abandon the betrothal between Peronella and Gerold of the Holy Roman Empire before she comes of age and moves over. Unfortunately, that still will incur a large wrath, but I shall not see my eldest daughter sent into the court of somebody who has been excommunicated from the church. So we shall be breaking this, and we will have to surrender ourselves to the poor opinion that we incur from everybody. But that said, my daughter still loves me, and I think her sister is rather upset about this, but people will eventually forget, and we shall see how things develop. Her sister has become not of right mind at this point. She has been looking at too much suffering over her short life, and as such is not in a good state of mind. So we shall see how that develops for my family. But in the meantime, we have a duchy to take care of, and I am disinclined to follow that call of war. We still potentially have an alliance, but the alliance has expired. The betrothal has been broken, and this may have ramifications in the future. However, I stand by Toulouse and my family, which will always come first. A miracle has happened. Juliana has recovered, and she is once more of good health. And with that, she has not followed her mother into the afterlife and her brother. But still, my family lacks a male heir to take over the mantle of the Duke of Toulouse once I shall no longer be present. And so far, my wife has failed to produce an heir for me. But we shall see what the future will bring. The wars are over. The unholy alliance with the Holy Roman Empire has ended. And Toulouse, after a long period of time, is somewhat at peace. Volkart von Nassau, my old friend and the tutor of many children at court, has become infirm and as such is no longer capable of doing his duties. So he will have to be replaced. And Oda, the wife of Charles, my best friend, will be taking over this appointment. This would of course infuriate Volkart. So we shall hold off on that decision just a little bit longer. We also, I think, don't have the prestige necessary to make that happen at this point. But changes in court are due relatively soon. With her coming of age, my tuition of Pironella is at an end. Always the clever child, Pironella proved time and time again over the course of her studies that she had a natural affinity for careful planning and more than a little misdirection. Now it is harder to say, however. Everything that is tasked of her is done by others before she gets to it, and she never really tells petty lies the way she used to. Perhaps she was not as clever as she seemed after all. So she becomes an elusive shadow. I would say that is pretty clever of her. And with that, she has acquired a decent amount, once that ticks over. There we go. She has acquired a decent amount of skill in intrigue, my daughter Pironella. However, she is still irritable, so that's something that'll stay with her apparently. Juliana is, still not particularly of whole mind, but we shall see how that goes. Yes, she's the first in line currently, but she is too young to be married at this point. Let her find her own path. The Duchess has fallen ill, and despite being somewhat confused in her old age, Philomena was still able to conduct a treatment. However, soon changes will need to be done in court, simply because people, despite the fact that they are my friends, if they cannot perform their duties anymore, then they must make way for others. Despite several of my courtiers not being able to perform their duties anymore, it has been pointed out to me that the prestige of Duke Aldéric has already severely suffered from the recent breaking of the betrothal, and it shall not be particularly easy to remove people from their positions at court, and we would risk more trouble than it is worth. So instead, I shall actually instruct my personal champion to, although that would cost coin, I could instruct my personal champion to compete in my name, to improve the. Let's see right now. He's 57 already. Well, I'll instruct him to. This is costly, but I shall instruct him to somewhat improve my reputation within the duchy, in order to, get a little bit of a better standing again. We do have another learning. I think washing of hands was a good choice here. Yes, and then I think from there, can we change our focus yet? We could, yes. So We could get, I think wandering might be a good position. This is what my father has done in his old age, and we could do the inspection to start moving through the duchy and just improve things. So of course internal affairs is what we are looking for, and yes, a personal touch is what we're after. So I shall become a wanderer, and since I am still from the time before Toulouse was even founded by my father, we'll get some benefits there. So I will do that, and then hopefully have some opportunities. The construction in Montauban is taking forever, and that's mostly due to the fact that I am nowhere near as good as my father when it comes to overseeing these sort of things. That said, Toulouse itself is rapidly improving, and we are once again building up a library, and we're on the path to make things better. That said, Volkart von Nassau, who had been ailing, has died of old age. He leaves behind Thomasina, the young woman of House Doria, who he had met many years ago at our court, and that means we do need a new tutor for the children. And we could get Oda, but I've got her earmarked for the position of physician. So Payan would be a good person to bring in. So he is the son of Omoria and Constantia, both of whom have already passed away, and he shall be teaching the children at court, of which we have, if we sort that by age, we have a fair few now. So we've still got Otakar, we've got Valence, and Juliana de Villeron, my daughter. In more uplifting news, the Duchess of Toulouse has fallen pregnant, and we will see if she can provide an heir for the duchy. She is not a bad woman, and but we both understand what it is that we need to do, and our position with each other. And while she is no replacement for Bothild, we're doing our respective duties. Meanwhile, my spymaster has discovered another secret. So what do we have here? Mathilde von Arnim. She is Duke Guntbert of Gascogne. So Gascogne had been taken over by bandits, but the father, Duke Engelbert of Gascogne, the original bandit, who took over the state in the breaking of the French kingdom, has died, passed on to his son, Duke Guntbert of Gascogne. But apparently, Mathilde von Arnim, his sister, who has actually been discovered to hold witchcraft, and not the kind that relatively uneducated peasants would seek to burn a beautiful woman at stake. No, the more serious kind. So the darkness that had grown in the forest of Albi, and that had caused my family so much grief, it can be found in the Gascogne as well. So with that, wait a minute. She is, oh no. Oh, she's the regent. Okay, so she's the current, I was about to say, are they together? No, she is the regent. So she's currently actually the regent in place of the young duke. And that makes it even worse. So we will have to expose that secret, that she is a witch and in league with Satan, and because we are just, that is that. We don't have enough piety to ask anything really of the papacy. Our works in the past and our machinations have been very, very costly. Meanwhile, my sister Elodie has honored me with a visit. Oh wow, the Queen of Jerusalem. How's she doing? She has 3 children by now. The youngest, Elodie of Jerusalem, her third, and she is arrived. Well, her king she seems to be getting along with her king as well, and she has definitely become a master diplomat. So she has honored me with a visit and has brought one of her courtiers along. Elodie approaches me excitedly. Well met, Duke Aldéric. It pleases me to see you thriving here in Toulouse. It occurred to me that Sami here might be of service in your court. He is an incredibly talented scholar, the brightest I have ever learned from. I would make use of him myself, but alas, it doesn't seem possible. I would hate to see his great talent go to waste. Won't you take him and unleash his potential? So we could get Sami Basri, her master of the horse, who is an evil man, unfortunately. He is very cruel, but it is my sister who is asking me thus, and I can hardly reject her. So he is. Well, his learning compared to what we have is relatively average, but he is excellent on the field of battle. So we shall. She is my sister after all, and I cannot reject her. So I know the place for him, and he has joined our court, despite the fact that he strikes me as a man of some evil, but. I think we have actually probably a relatively good place for him, there we go, in our military. So with that, how's our Aculate doing, by the way? So we are at rank 3 actually, not bad. So we're getting plus 20% army damage from this. And the current successor is Thwadomir, who has recovered. The husband of Philomena, who is infirm at this point, but her husband has recovered, which is great news. And she really is one of the most capable physicians that we had. And he will take over the accolade once that becomes available. My spy master has come to me with grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting to kill me. So there is a murder scheme against me. Redoubling the guards to I thought this is a steal artifact scheme. That's still ongoing. They're still trying to steal my artifacts. We already have redoubled the guards. But I think, do I have any enemies in court? It could be Ethelber who we have, or maybe her husband Wiegerich. I mean, this is a political alliance, obviously Ethelber being a leper. They will not have any children whatsoever. But meanwhile, news from Ogier that he has caught an illness. But other than that, he should be fine. And Irmgard has become a melancholic, reclusive drunkard, his wife, which is very unfortunate. How's the rest of my family? Let's have a quick look around. So Raulf has become reclusive as well, and Richenza. Richenza has caught the pox. How did that happen, I wonder? Maybe after the disfigurement of her husband, she wasn't as faithful anymore. Antoine, my brother, seems to be doing well. However, he has lost a leg in one of the battles, but has followed up on his Crusaders things. And Thibaut, his wife, at least seems to be in good spirits. And then, of course, we've got Queen Elodie of Jerusalem, who is, despite her penchant for certain religious practices, who seems to be doing well and has become an absolute master of diplomacy. And her husband seems to be a relatively good man as well. And then we've got Faidida, the Princess of Fashion, who is the wife of the Duke of Apulia, and has a fair number of children with him, actually. Yeah, he is matching her villainy, most definitely. However, none of this explains who would be willing to murder me. So that is a secret that we have yet to uncover.